Andrew, welcome back. The good news is, as you can see, we are back in all our glory, sound and vision. And the second half of the Michael Welsh Secondary Senior League game between Ballintubber and Charlestown is off and running. This a test broadcast of sorts for Mayo GA TV ahead of the start of the County Senior, Intermediate and Junior Club Football Championships next weekend. Mayo GA will be announcing over the next 24 hours or thereabouts what games will be shown and when next weekend. But for the moment, you can sit back, relax and enjoy Ballintubber against Charlestown. There's Brian Welsh in for the second half. Regular in the Ballintubber first 15 these last few years. Didn't feature, in fact, last weekend for Ballintubber against Claremorris due to injury. Didn't start tonight for the same reason. But Kevin Johnson obviously feels he's good to go for the second 30 minutes. Wants to get a look at him ahead of the championship next weekend. And will also be looking, I'm sure, for a much improved performance from the county champions. Chance for them here maybe to make a good positive start. Hugh Geraghty back towards Stephen O'Malley, man who has scored a few spectacular goals down through the years for Ballintubber. Just out of under 21, Stephen O'Malley, but a regular in the senior squad these last 2-3 seasons. As in goes Matthew Lenihan with a good solid challenge and another good steal by a Charlestown player. It's been a feature of their play in this game so far. Their tackling has been very, very disciplined. It has been very, very crisp. And I'm sure Ronan Kenny, Richie Wynn, Ginger Tiernan and the manager Martin Mulvaney will be very pleased with that aspect of this performance. Question now is, can they kick on? Remember, last weekend Charlestown 13 points up at half-time against Belmullet at home and ended up losing by a couple of points. That will be at the back of their minds, you'd imagine, as they try to advance on the Ballintubber goal. Parsons just slipped as he tried to pop the pass off towards Towie. Finian Burke, though, just lost his concentration there for Ballintubber as well, and the ball goes back to Gareth O'Donnell, who has been one of the game's outstanding players so far. Colin May, runs being made left and right. May just clips it beautifully in front of the man who wanted the pass. That's Goldrick, who shoots, taken down just under the bar by Brendan Welch. Good effort by Goldrick, good hands by Welch. And now Ballintubber just living a little dangerously in front of their own goal. Jason Gibbons comes across, takes control, wins the free and delivers the pass to Brian Welch. One man up top to aim at. That's Stephen O'Malley. Here's Jamesy Finnerty. That trademark little shuffle cuts onto the left foot. Colin May was tracking back. Matthew Lenihan too. And out comes Paul Mulligan, the poacher turned goalkeeper for Charlestown, a la John Casey a good decade ago or more. Mulligan now keeping goal for Charlestown and has done very little wrong so far. Parsons, a regular at Charlestown training sessions these last number of weeks. Big boost for all club teams, of course, having their county men available every night they train. And Parsons, by all accounts, leading by example on the Tuesdays, the Fridays, and whenever he makes the trip west from Dublin. Paul Towie fouled in there close to the Ballintubber goal. And not for the first time, it's that diagonal ball again, Jackie. You referenced it a few times in the first half. They've done their homework on Ballintubber. They know that defence does not like to be moved around. And Towie using his pace again.
Well, if you have an extra man back there doing a bit of covering, you have to find the little nuggets in the corner, and that's what they're doing. They're just pulling their full back line all over the place. A good score by Colin May again. They're pulling our Ridley turned us back. Actually, that was Jack Riley with his left foot. He's very versatile, this man. They're making our two cornerbacks. They're pulling them all over the shop. Ballintubber put on a couple of changes at half time, by the way. Jim has just gone to midfield for Dean Loftus. Brian Walsh has come in at wing forward, and I forget actually who's gone off. I didn't do a bit of tracking on him. Did you see yourself, Mike, who went off, did you?
You've put me on the spot, Jackie. I can see him over there on the far side. I think it is Dean Loftus that has been taken out. 7-5 now to Charlestown, by the way. That was Jack Riley. That's 4 points for him. But there's a real bite to this game. As somebody said last week, the Michael Welsh Secondary League getting something of a bad name over the last few years as a glorified challenge game circuit, really, when teams were building up to big matches. But this year it's all very serious as Charlestown stick the ball in the Ballintubber net. Well, hopefully our replay facility will click in at some point this evening, because that will be worth another look, Jackie. It looked initially like Ballintubber had their angles covered, they had things covered, but yet somehow the ball has ended up in the back of the Ballintubber net.
Yeah, I'm afraid we got caught one more time for a little bit of pace at the back there. He put it away well when he did get that close in through the goalie's legs, but the corner forward shouldn't get in, especially we had two men covering him at one stage. But that shows you the quality of the forward play that Charlestown have. If they get a sniff of it at all, their confidence goes up. Like last week, the game won at half time last week, so something went a bit skewy with their head, but they have got it right today, I'm afraid.
Yeah, Colin May, I think, was the man that stuck the ball in the net in the end. But in any event, it's 1-7 to Charlestown, 5 points to Ballintubber. And now Ballintubber have a job of work on their hands. Kieran Gavin is in, Brian Welch is in. They're starting to pad out and bolster that forward line. It's getting closer and closer to their 2019 championship forward line. But right now they have a bit of catching up to do here. 6.5 minutes into the second half. Cillian O'Connor with a chance to reduce the deficit. Kieran Gavin won the free. Cillian O'Connor converts it. And that's now 4 points for Cillian. 3 from frees, 1 from play. It's now 1-7 to 6 points.
You can see maybe the difference between the two teams where we're that little bit laboured. I know when it all goes well for us, we're back and over across the field, it's good. But when we need it sometimes, that long direct ball in, like now, we're not able to give it. But Jason is on the prowl one more time.
Jason Gibbons again goes highest, gives it to Cillian O'Connor, sniffs for the goal, drills the point. Well, usually when Cillian gets into that sort of range, coming at that angle, at that pace, he sticks it in the back of the net. But he's been out for a long time, almost 9 months since his last game of football. And that shot, just always rising, flies over Paul Mulligan's crossbar. And that, you'd have to say, Jackie, Ballintubber's best, most clear-cut goal chance by a country mile.
Well, maybe I suppose Jason's one maybe at the tail end of the first half, maybe also. But normally when Cillian does get that close, but he took it with his left foot, which maybe is maybe not his better one, but he does have the 2 feet. Just watching a couple of moments ago, they've isolated Paul Towie inside on Finney and Burke, so that I'd say if they do get half a sniff, it's going in long one more time, so it'll be interesting.
Diarmuid O'Connor carrying the ball towards the Charlestown crossbar. He's got Jack Riley in pursuit. Diarmuid to Cillian. Diarmuid again. This is Brian Welch. No advantage. Ball stuck in the Charlestown net, but it's not going to count. And Ballintubber absolutely furious. Brian Kilkelly didn't play the advantage. Cillian O'Connor and Diarmuid as well, I think, are just inquiring as to why he didn't. Who'd be a referee, Jackie?
Yeah, sometimes from being a player himself, you often think if a referee just wait for 3 or 4 seconds, it gives you the option of, and you can always go back if it doesn't work out. That's why sometimes I don't know, I scratch my head an odd time. And if you weren't a player maybe yourself at some stage, you'd know maybe, but you just think that just hold on a couple of seconds, wait for it to develop, and if it doesn't develop, back you go.
Well, Brian Kilkelly has shown a yellow card to Charlestown's Paddy Goldrick for the foul. Cillian O'Connor kicks the free. Brian Welch's goal wiped out, didn't count, whistle had already sounded, so Ballintubber have to be content with the free from Cillian, and that leaves us now with a 2-point game, 1-7 to 8 points. It's been a good response though from Ballintubber since Charlestown scored the goal. They've hit right back very positively, rattled off 3 points in a row, all of them from Cillian O'Connor. As Jackie rejoins us. Jackie, just making the point, 3 points in a row from Ballintubber since the goal went in. Good sign.
Yeah, you can see the intensity has picked up. There's a small little bit of I won't say needle, but you can see the difference the Doc makes when he goes to midfield. The same as I said, the same as last week. He just transforms the whole game as he can do from AO. He just gets around the pitch.
Here he is again. As Jackie said, now he's coming more into it, Diarmuid O'Connor, since he was moved at half time by Kevin Johnson. Good strong run, but ball was carried too far there by Stephen O'Malley. Didn't take a toe tap, didn't take a bounce. I think he was waiting on the free in that didn't come. Free against the Ballintubber man instead for a bit of barging.
He was slagging me before the game when he sees me, because I would have had him for a couple of years at underage, and I'd be always on to him about using his left foot. So he slagged me before the game started. Did you see that, Jack, with my left foot? I said, how about your left hand now? And yet, when the pressure comes on, he needed to be able to take that with his left foot, and they just won't go back to it. If you're not used to doing it on a constant basis, but it would have got you out of a lot of trouble.
Cillian O'Connor there, he just drifted inside to take the pass, gives it to Jamesy Finnerty, and Jamesy Finnerty clips the point for Ballintubber. Well, as soon as Charlestown lost that ball on the way out, they were in trouble. Cillian O'Connor, of all the players to leave unmarked, he just drifted, cute as a fox, found the space, gave it to the man in the better position, Jamesy Finnerty. 1 point between them. And since that goal from Charlestown, that Coleman goal, Ballintubber have rattled off a handful of points and just a kick of the ball between them. 7 to 9 points. Not too much social distancing going on in the middle of the field right now. A lot of players converging on the one patch of grass to try and win that breaking ball. Niall Murphy lets it down the line towards the full forward Paddy Lenihan. Does well. Big strong man, the Charlestown 14. In towards Goldrick, flicked forward. Tracking back is Jason Gibbons. Sweeps up that loose ball, gives it to Brendan Welsh. And Ballintubber will try and build from the back again.
Get out of there.
We were giving out a few hours ago, Jackie, about the bad weather. It has now transformed into a beautiful evening here in Clogher. And we've got quite the last 20 minutes to look forward to as well.
Yeah, the intensity has gone up considerably. The rain has stayed away for a while. I see not cloud coming back over Killawalla, but there's no harm back. They need it back there. A lot of rock near the surface back there. They need all the rain they get, make the grass grow. We don't need it over here today, but you can see the difference even in the players when the rain stays away. It's a much nicer game. Ball sticks a little bit better. And Hugh Geraghty on the ball at this moment in time. I'd say he's itching to get up to get a shot at goal.
I can tell you one person who doesn't want rain right now, and that's yours truly, Jackie, because that field where the cars are parked, it's soft underfoot, shall we say, and another heavy shower of rain or two, and we might just need a tractor and a rope, because there's a few of us parked on dodgy ground in there.
Yes, if I've Wellingtons with me on my mic. You're not too bad.
Good to know.
And you're not too far away from Ballinrobe. You can stay overnight in Ballintubber. It's been a wish of yours for a lot of years, I think. We'll give you B&B.
Mocking is catching. 17 minutes to go. All to play for. We're watching a Michael Welsh secondary senior league game, but it just has a whiff of championship about it right now. There's a real cut, as Jackie said, as Diarmuid O'Connor shoots from way out on that left-hand side. And that's away to the left and wide. What an incredible footballer he is. Man who lifted the National League trophy as Mayo captain last season. That seems like a long time ago now. As in comes Alan Dillon, a.k.a. Benjamin Button, still going strong. Surely Jackie must be closing in on your record as the oldest man to tog for Ballintubber.
He's a long way to go yet. He's only a baby. Whatever bit I played outfield for most of my career, but I went back in the goal when I was 37. So Alan is ready to go into goal at this age, more than Paul Mulligan. They're only starting their career if they realise it, and the likes of Paul Mulligan could get another 10 years at this high level.
You heard it here first. So Alan Dillon into the Ballintubber forward line, and that now means since half time Ballintubber have brought in Brian Welch, Kieran Gavin and Alan Dillon. They are rolling out the big guns, the county champions now. They don't like to lose too many matches, Ballintubber, particularly here in Clogher, and particularly a week before they welcome Ahamore here and they begin the defence of their county title. This would be a dent to their confidence. It would be a dent to their ego as well. But right now, all to play for. Charlestown, who haven't scored since their goal way back in the early stages of this second half. Another Charlestown attack breaks down. And we mentioned it earlier, Jackie, they lost their way completely in the second half against Belmullet last weekend. And you can almost get the sense right now they're starting to daydream again. The minds are starting to wander a little.
Yeah, that particular ball, which is most on Charlestown like, they kicked it in high to Paul Towie. Finian Burke was up his tail end, if you'll pardon the expression, and Ballintubber picked up the break. So a forward doesn't want a high ball unless you're a 6'2" man, like Kieran Downey or somebody like that. But Paul Towie is around the 5'8", 5'9" maybe. He wants a decent ball into his chest and he'll win it every time.
Diarmuid O'Connor just sitting in that pocket, trying to wrap his boot around that ball, drops in around the edge of the square. Cleared away as far as the Charlestown fullback. Foul on Enda McLaughlin. Free to Charlestown. Parsons. Always seems to have so much time on his hands, Tom Parsons, but just delayed that pass. Paul Towie didn't see the Ballintubber man coming on his blind side. Good solid tackle by Milo Kelly. Free to Ballintubber. Michael Plunkett. Head up. Very stylish footballer. Lovely ball, and that's a mark for Stephen O'Malley. Pass delivered from outside the 45 by Michael Plunkett, gathered by O'Malley, who called the mark straight away. We haven't seen very many of them this evening. That, though, was as clear-cut as they come. And this gives Ballintubber a chance to draw level as we begin the last quarter, and Stephen O'Malley has kicked it wide. And Brian Kilkelly blows for the water break. 17 minutes almost into this second half. And that was such an anticlimax, Jackie. It looked like a stone cold equaliser. It looked like it was going to set us up for the last 13 minutes. But for some reason or another, Stevens kicked it wide.
I thought for the first time actually this evening he was a couple of yards away from his man when he got the ball, that he had actually time to take it on. Once you call the mark, you're automatically putting pressure on yourself. You're expected to get it. Kicking into the wind, I would still expect Stephen to get it. I suppose the difference this evening and last week is this evening he's not taking the freeze. Killian is taking the freeze. And it's like anything else. If your eye is in and you get one or two, maybe nice handy ones early on in the game, it's different. But that's his actual first strike that he's taken on for the whole game. And you do put yourself under pressure immediately. He had a split second, and that's all you get at corner forward to take it on. He decided to go for that, as he thought, the safer option. Not this time.
So a stoppage here, a chance for both teams to regroup, go through the game plan one more time. 13 minutes to go here in Clogher. Still all to play for. And on second viewing, or what's that great phrase, Jackie? On mature reflection, Niall Murphy, the Charlestown number 7, that stuck the ball in the net in that goal-mouth scramble. And that's literally right now all that separates them. That goal from Charlestown, from Niall Murphy, just giving them the lead. But you wouldn't be putting any big money down right now, would you? This is, it's hanging in the balance.
Yeah, I did say at half-time there that playing against the brace sometimes, some teams play better against it. The ball holds up, it won't run away from you. Yeah, going back to Niall Murphy for a moment, as a wing-back, it just shows the skill level that the man has and the versatility to be on that end of the pitch, but have the skill set to get around two guys and put it in the net. But as I say, going back, repeating myself, that's what I would expect from Charlestown. For years they've had just these marvellous ball players would associate, even at over 40s level, which we played a number of years ago, they were just beautiful to play against. They concentrate fully on football, and that's what, as you get on in years, that's what you like. But they're a joy to watch most of the time, except when you're playing against them.
So both teams squeezing every last moment out of the water break during this second half. Pretty much doubling up as a timeout, really, gives Kevin Johnson, the Ballintubber manager, and Martin Mulvaney in the Charlestown side of things, just gives them a chance to have a word, maybe change things around, switch things up, and away we go again. Good restart by Paul Mulligan. Here's Jack Riley. He's been much quieter in this second half. Again, they're looking to switch the play, Charlestown, trying to come across to this left wing of their attack. Matthew Lenihan bounces off the tackle. Outnumbered though in the end. Ballintubber sub in, Jackie?
That's Jack Welsh. That's Jack was just out of minor. Should have been doing his leaving cert. The dad is Gary, involved with the senior team, and now is our junior manager. So Jack is one of the new kids on the block. So we hope to have him, with the help of God, for years to come.
Ball goes in long, gathered by Brendan Welch back there. Gets it away to the Ballintubber full-back, who this evening is Joe Geraghty. Brian Welch under pressure. Paddy Goldrick is in there. That's Michael Plunkett. Does well in a pretty tight space to win that ball and to win the free as well. Free to Ballintubber. Jason Gibbons to Alan Dillon. Freshly in off the bench. Rested, rejuvenated, ready to go for another season. Great ball to Cillian O'Connor, who took it beautifully in around the back. Shoots for the score, and that is a 45 to Ballintubber. The way the umpire raised his arm there initially, I think Brian Kilkelly thought it was a score, but I think that's the universally accepted signal for a 45, that one finger salute up towards the sky like that, and Ballintubber, who for a moment, Jackie, looked like they were in for another goal chance, have to be content with a 45.
The one ball that Alan Dillon got, the head is up and he's looking for that 40-yard pass every time. He doesn't want you to stand beside him or going behind him. But if he has to do it, he can do that too. But he's looking for that pop pass, and Cillian he'll always be looking for Cillian, by the way, if you watch out, because he knows that Cillian will be shown for him.
Diarmuid will probably point this, won't he? No, it's distance not an issue. Wide again. Just the way he was stepping up to that, you just felt he had all the confidence in the world. He's kicked so many of those down here since his days with the under-8s, but just shaking his head as he trots back into the middle of the field, Diarmuid O'Connor. That's another one they've left behind, and still Charlestown tipping along a point in front. Jason Gibbons claims the mark. He's been really, really good in the air, Gibbons. Michael Plunkett, the playmaker. Lovely ball to Kieran Gavin. Jack Welch makes a run outside. Gareth O'Donnell just wraps the arm around Gavin, and that was a free all day long. So Ballintubber are going to get another chance to kick the equaliser as we watch that challenge from Gareth O'Donnell on Kieran Gavin. Sometimes you get them, Jackie, sometimes you don't, but from our angle it looked fairly straightforward for Brian Kilkelly.
Yeah, there's no argument about that. Once you put the hand up near the nick at all at this stage, the referee is going to blow it. Sometimes they might think that you're trying to win a free because you have no place to go and you're hanging on in there, but within reason you normally get your free. It's more suitable for a left-footed kicker, this particular one, but Cillian is taking it on.
So Cillian O'Connor sticks to the tried and tested trademark routine. Wasn't happy with the first football, and nothing wrong with that finish. Another one for Cillian. Sides are level now. 1-7 for Charlestown, 10 points for Ballintubber, 9 minutes to go. And as we mentioned already, all of this, of course, a dress rehearsal, not just for Mayo GA TV, but also for Ballintubber and Charlestown ahead of the start of the Club Championship next weekend, the August Bank Holiday weekend coinciding with the first round of Championship 2020. Ballintubber, the champions, the team that everybody has to beat. They will begin the defence of the Moclair Cup here in Clogher against Ahamore next Saturday evening. While around about the same time, in fact a little bit earlier that evening, Charlestown Sarsfields will welcome Castlebar Mitchells to Father O'Hara Park. That's a little push in the back there. Foul on Jamesy Finnerty, who managed to manoeuvre himself out in front. Well, when you consider when Niall Murphy stuck the ball in the Ballintubber net way back at the start of this second half, it looked like Ballintubber were in all sorts of trouble. But 4 or maybe was it even 5 points without reply, and all of a sudden they were back in business again. as Cillian O'Connor steps up to this. He's just outside the 45. He thumps it, everything he has behind it. And I think, Jackie, it's safe to say Cillian O'Connor is back.
Yes, but from free taken anyway, that is an excellent. He sliced it from the outside of the boot. That's again, I suppose, coming down to knowing the pitch, knowing the way the breeze blows in across over the top of the trees. Yeah, that's Cillian at his best.
I make that 7 points now for Cillian O'Connor. 5 frees, a couple from play. And on his return to competitive football, it is quite the return. In fact, I'm looking at the notes again, Jackie. That's 8 points for Cillian O'Connor out of Ballintubber's tally of 11. Better again.
Yeah, I didn't realise he got that many. I'd say most of them are from frees, I think. There he is. The Doc has it. He's on the move.
6 from frees, 2 from play. Here is the Doc. Good strong run. Flicks it forward. James E. Finnerty. Ballintubber now are starting to move up through the gears again. They have really got going in the last 10 minutes in particular. And that quick fire burst of scores means that they're now starting to open up a little bit of daylight. 2 points in front. That's another for James E. Finnerty. It's his second score in this second half. And Charlestown struggling, Jackie, to get their hands on the ball in the middle of the field.
Yeah, it's all happening around where the Dock is. They've tried to change now this time, and then they went the far side, and Jason Gibbons wins that again, you see. So when you have the two of them together, they're a pretty formative midfield partnership.
So 12 points to 1-7. Stephen O'Malley. Ballintubber attacking from all angles, and that shot from O'Malley strikes the post and flies wide. Stoppage. I think one of the Charlestown players, rather, it's Matthew Lenihan, just taking a knee there for a moment. I think he got a bang in that last passage of play and just needed a moment to get himself sorted. Tom Parsons just over on this near side of the field trying to make a run. Paul Mulligan instead goes long towards Paddy Goldrick, but over the head of Jack Riley and Paddy Goldrick. Back to cover is Plunkett. Goldrick, who's on a yellow card there, came flying in to make the tackle. But all's well that ends well. Everybody walks away in one piece. Jason Gibbons. Gerrity. Joe Gerrity across to Jack Welch. And now Milo Kelly. Ballintubber switching the play right across from one wing to the other and making their way out towards halfway. Plunkett across into the Charlestown half. Now Dillon. Alan Dillon still going strong. Links with O'Connor. Foul on Jason Gibbons as Charlestown retreat further and further into their defensive shell. Up from wing back and over the bar. That is some score from Hugh Gerrity. But as we said, Jackie, Charlestown backing off. And when you do against the team of the calibre of Ballintubber, you are asking for trouble. But that was still some score from Hugh Gerrity. Yeah,
I just said earlier on there that Hugh's just itching to get up to get a shot at goal because he's one of those versatile guys. He could be centre forward for you tomorrow or wing back another day. Maybe tomorrow, if the junior team are out tomorrow, he'll be centre back for them. So he's a Gerrity. He has loads of ball skills. Good to see it.
Well, since that goal in the 5th minute of the second half from Niall Murphy, Charlestown haven't scored. And Ballintubber are now up to 8 points without reply. It has been some response as Brian Kilkelly flashes a couple of yellows there. One for Cillian O'Connor and one for the man who's marking him, the Charlestown fullback. Enda McLaughlin and Killian both in the book as Ballintubber come again now. 3 minutes to go, attacking in waves. Safe to say they've got their second wind. 5 points down about 20 minutes ago. Now 3 points up. Brian Welsh, member of the Mayo senior panel when the season came to a shuddering halt way back in the middle of March. And as far as I know, still part of the Mayo senior panel who are getting ready for the championship to resume, all going well, in mid-October. Michael Plunkett is the Ballintubber man who's just trying to get a bit of oxygen back into the lungs, but it's been quite the spectacular second half fade out from Charlestown, Jackie. Not quite as spectacular as their second half collapse against Belmullet last weekend, but worrying all the same if you're from Charlestown.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, like, is it their fade out or did we pick up? I know we picked up the tempo considerably, but they mightn't have as much training done maybe as the rest of us maybe, so we will hold court for another little while.
Well, all will be revealed, of course, next weekend when Alan Flynn brings Castlebar Mitchells to Charlestown. That will be the acid test for the Sarsfields. Michael Plunkett up again, good to go. Dillon breaks the tackle of O'Donnell. Oh, beautiful ball. Gibbons. That is some score from Ballintubber. Alan Dillon hasn't lost it. He was shaping up there as if he was going to kick a score, and then he delivers a beautiful, delicious little hooked pass into the path of Gibbons. Could have gone for a goal. Takes the point. Ballintubber 4 points up here in the summer sunshine in Clogher. Parsons, good take. Wins the mark. Charlestown now, no time is of the essence. They haven't scored for 24 minutes. And they're not going to score now either. Brian Welch fouled on his way out, and that is going to be a free out to Ballintubber. Brian Welch has picked up quite the bang. Let's take another look. Brian Welch, it was sided to the ground on his way out with the ball, and that is sheer frustration, Jackie, and you can't condone it, but you can understand where it's coming from, because Charlestown just haven't been at the races for the last 20 minutes or so.
Well, that last ball that Tom Parsons won here, you could see just a sure great determination. He gave the dock a chuck out of the way, because I'd say they just couldn't get their hands on the ball the last 15 minutes. At this stage, you'd hope that nobody loses the rag and gets sent off. Championship is next weekend, so let's hold the head, lads. Let's hold the head.
Thankfully, Brian Welch is up again. Good to go. Alan Dillon still pulling the strings for Ballintubber. Much closer to 40 than 30 these days. Although, depending on the mood he's in when you meet him, you still couldn't be sure exactly what age he is. Tends to change every so often, Jackie.
Yeah, well, as you get older, you start to move the digits around a small little bit. You're only young yet.
What's another year? They're in around the back and they're in for a goal. Brian Welch sticks it in the net. Well, it has been coming. They've had a couple of close run things, Charlestown. Badger Mulligan made a good save in the first half to deny Jason Gibbons. Killian O'Connor unlucky not to hit the net a little earlier. And Brian Welch, good strong run, sticks it in the back of the net. Ballintubber 1-14 now. Charlestown 1-7. We're in stoppage time at the end of the first half. And it's all over here bar the shouting. What a second half this has been from Ballintubber. And if we have anybody watching from over Ahamore direction, Jackie, I think they'll have got the message. The county champions, well, they mean business going on this second half performance. Brian Kilkelly blows the full-time whistle. We wondered at half-time what kind of shape Ballintubber were in. Well, we got our answer.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, if we go back to last week for a moment, we started so well the last day in Clamores. I thought that we would run out of steam. Today we started pretty poor. Took us a while to get the dirty petrol out, but in the second half, as I said, in the first half there, easier sometimes to play against the breeze. The ball held up a little bit more. Charlestown looked excellent for the first half. I don't know whether they have, as I said, the same amount of training done as us. They may not have. So it's a marvellous game for a Michael Welch. Week before the championship, it's a good workout for everybody. I think everybody's walking off. Nobody's got hurt. That's the main thing before the week before championship. Nobody got sent off. They all have give them an idea where they stand. A few extra bit of training in the legs. So I think next weekend championship, Ahamore here, the Mitchell for Charlestown. That's a good tryout here tonight.
Well, a chance for both teams to get some dirty petrol out. Likewise for those of us in the commentary box. I have to say, at about 10-7, I wasn't expecting to be here broadcasting with Jackie Heenahan live on Mayo GA TV, but you live and you learn, and we got there in the end. Apologies for our technical difficulties during the first half, but all's well that ends well. It has finished here in Clogher on what has turned out to be a beautiful evening, particularly if you're a Ballintubber supporter, player or member of management. It has ended in a win for Charlestown, or for Ballintubber rather, 114 to a goal and 7. And just before we leave you, Jackie, just again for anybody who may have joined us late, we just want to again extend our sympathies and our sincere condolences to the Coleman family. Ballintubber captain Damien Coleman bereaved earlier today. His dad Padraig unfortunately passing away. The Colemans from Clogher here in Ballintubber, a very well-known family, very strong links to Ballintubber GAA Club. The flags here in Clogher flying at half-mast this evening. The Ballintubber team wearing black armbands as a mark of respect to the late Padraig Coleman. And while they've won a football match this evening, Ballintubber, Jackie, no doubt about it, there is very much a strong sense of sadness all around the community as people remember and pay their tributes to the late Padraig Coleman.
Yes, indeed, Mike. Our condolences to the Coleman family, to Bridie, the two girls, the two boys, Damien and Keith. Padraig has been heavily involved with our club from underage level all the way up along the line. Damien is in his early 30s now, so Padraig has been involved since he was practically a baby. Not alone in the management and football end of it, but also stuff going on around the pitch, parking cars, marking pitch, whatever else had to be done around the place. Tonight, from the family home just over the wall here, you would hear this shouting going on at the pitch. They live that close to the pitch here in Clogher. So it's a sad day for the club, a very sad day for the family. Our captain Damien has just been excellent captain this last 2 or 3, excellent footballer for a lot of years, but he's been an excellent captain, conducts himself so well in all situations, all games. He's just been exemplary in his applications on the day, and tonight we offer our sympathies to the Coleman family from everybody involved in football in general, right around the county, but in Ballintubber in particular.
Well said, Jackie Heenan. That's it from us on Mayo GAA TV this evening from Clogher. Don't forget, next weekend we will have extensive live coverage of a number of matches in the Mayo Senior and Intermediate Club Football Championship. Just keep an eye on our social channels, Mayo GAA and Mayo GAA TV, for the coming days for more details on that.